first thing you'll want to do to start this project is to go to Leah's website and print out the directions. And she does very, very good directions with pictures and everything. Print them out. And then she also gives you the pattern pieces, and you print them out and tape them together. Once you have that, you want to cut out your pieces of material. And she has several different colors. She uses 3. I'm only going to be using 2. I'm going to be using this print. I'm going to be using this leather, which actually I never buy leather. I just go to the thrift store or eBay and buy skirts, and I dismantle them. And then lining. The first thing I need to do is, because I used a skirt, the panel, one side is fine, the other side has this slit in it. So the first thing I need to do is to sew this, and what I'm going to do is just follow the seam all the way down to make this one complete panel. I've threaded my machine with leather needle and a heavier weight in upholstery thread in brown to match. The next step in Leah's directions, she says to take the two 15 by 15 middle panels and the 15 by 11 side panels, and what we want to do is put right sides together, and we want to sew a seam down the 15-inch side, and that will open up, and then we'll do this side. 15-inch seam down along here, and we'll open that up. The next step is to iron the seams. If you're not using leather, you can iron the seams open, but because I'm using leather, I'm ironing the seam toward the leather. Then you want to take your heavy fusible interfacing, and you want to fuse this to both pieces. Side seams sewn, pressed and ironed, and I have ironed on the heavyweight fusible interfacing. Now, Leila suggests that you fold the panel in half to get your halfway mark. I just used my ruler, found the center, and I put a small pin right there to mark the center. So now this is a little bit of a tricky part. Now you want to fold it in from where these are folded, where they're connected, the seams. So you want to take the seam and you want to fold that so it meets where that is. And I'm going to pin it. It's a little difficult pinning through all of these layers. My pin does not want to go through, but I'm just going to put it through just to hold it there. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side where that seam is. Fold it in. To meet that center. And again, I'm going to pin it. You're going to do this. They're not even. You don't have to worry about that. They're a little off. Just let the bottom fan out. Don't worry about the bottom. And what you want to do is take it to the sewing machine and just sew straight across in here to hold it in place. And you want to do this on both pieces. The next step is the strap. It's the 5 by 28 inch piece of material. You place it down. I've already ironed it. And we're going to put our fusible web on there, and we're going to iron that. I take my time with this step. I want to make sure the fusible lining stays down. Once the fusible interfacing is down, you want to fold the piece in half. Try to make a little crease. And iron it to get that crease down. This is just a marking point. Now you want to take one side in and meet that center crease, and again iron it. Then move the right side in, or the bottom side in, up to that center crease, and iron it again. Now you want to fold those pieces in and fold it together. So you're folding it in to the center crease and then down the center crease. Now we're going to do a 1/4 inch seam down each strap on each side. First the open side, and then we'll do the other side. I use the foot as a marker. The next part of the project, we want to take that front piece, you want to fold it down the middle. You can see the line where the stitching is. Fold it down the middle, take the pattern piece, and I place the pattern piece so that point is right above the line. Then line it up with your fold, and also just play with your pleats here. And you can see that you have a lot of room to play with. You want to play with that, and then you want to cut this piece out, and you want to cut out the back piece as well. And just make sure that they're the same size. And here you can see I've cut it out. And that's what your pattern piece should look like. Do the same for the back side. Now we're going to place our straps on the 2 front panels, the pleated panels. And what I'm doing is I've taken the open side and I'm putting that towards us. We're going to be placing them on either side of these pleats because we don't want too much bulk. But when the bag is finished, the straps will go up like this. So that way you get the side where it's not open. So you want to place both the strap just like that. This is one strap, either side on each side of the pleat, and you want to pin this, and you also want to do the other side. Now we're going to take the 5 by 20 top border, which you've already put on your interfacing, and we're going to line that up with the top front panel with your straps, and you're going to sandwich those straps in between this and the top panel, and you're going to sew a 3/4 inch seam along the top, joining all of these two. Our next step is to take the pocket pieces. One is made of material, one is made of lining, and you want to use the fusible interfacing on one side. I put it on the lining because my lining is very thin, and we want to sew a half inch seam along the top. Now I have it ironed, and we're going to do a 1/4 inch top stitch. Now you want to take your lining pieces, they've already have the fusible web, your pocket piece, sandwich that in between, put the lining pieces right sides together, and we're going to stitch a half an inch seam down along each side. Take our two completed fronts, we want to place them right sides together, and you want to make sure you match up these seams here. Make sure those are matched up, and you can pin this to make sure it stays together. And you want to sew them together.